Alright, this is going to be the settings that I am running on my train rail world as a beginning player in Factorio. I just wanted to show my settings that way if anybody wanted to follow along and also do what I am trying to do because I am very interested in Factorio and its systems and how its statistics operate, and I'm looking forward to this playthrough and being pretty much a noob, so enjoy. So now that we have crash landed onto a mysterious planet, we must figure out a way to get back to normal day society. At least that's all I know. So we are going to be gathering all the resources from the ship to enhance our survival capabilities during this beginning venture. And then with all of that gathered, we will go set up mining industries at iron and copper. And I am relatively new to the game. I haven't beat it. I've probably only put like 15 hours into it and only gotten to trains, so not really that high up. Barely automated anything, so this will be a really fun experience. Have the copper plates getting set up. And with this, we will be able to semi-automate. I still have to fill it with coal and all that stuff, but we will get to automation shortly. And then just going to be adventuring around looking for coal rocks while also scouting for any enemy territory just in case our pollution spreads too much. And as we come back, we fill up the copper, get that start running, and now we finally set up a burner to gather coal, although I am manually feeding it because I am still a scrub and don't know how to automate burners, but we won't be using them for long, so no need to worry about those. Now with steam power set up, we can start focusing on getting some early science. Not automated, but early science nonetheless, to get electric drills and also automation, which will help us expand exponentially. Alright, and now that we have the science cooking, this is my normal setup that I ran in my previous world. It's just coal through the center, getting fed into the smelters. Then you have the iron ore getting fed on the outsides. And then you have eventually long arm droppers. We'll be putting the finished plates on a belt on the outside of where the iron comes in. And it's just what I usually do. It's pretty efficient. I haven't had a problem with it yet, so just wanted to show a little bit of this starting out, but it's going to be a lot of belts, so I'll cut to once we get all the belts for all this, because it's going to be a lot of back and forth in the beginning here. And with a few more belts crafted and unlocking the logistics, we now have splitters and underground conveyor belts. So now we can set up the coal and steel entryways for the automated side of everything and getting the resources over here. And we did get the electric miners since the science has been going through and churning through all of that. So now once we come up here and connect this to the power, we will then be getting coal automatically fed onto the conveyor belt to the smelters. Once we get that, we'll just have to set up a conveyor belt from the iron, and then we can start getting plates automatically. With bringing the electricity over here and having all the belts getting led all the way over to our burning facility. Once we finish the belts down here and connect this, now it is fully connected. So now we will be having plates getting automatically made. And that's my usual setup right there that I was talking about with the droppers and the long arms getting sent out. We will add a chest here, just that way we can have it not sit on the ground. Here's a zoomed out shot of my base so far and just iron automation. Alright, so after letting my resources grow for a bit, I am now starting to gather a whole bunch of plates and setting them up on their own conveyor belts onto a main bus. And right now I am making it so that way it fills up both lanes, just so that way it can be more condensed later on during the bus and make crafting and life easier. But I do think I am going to move it further towards the beginning, just so that way it's not getting all stacked up the entire time, or stuck in the single lane the entire time. And actually, I'm just going to put it even closer, right on the edge of that, and that should work. Now with the main bus having a whole bunch of iron plates, we're going to need to use those iron plates to make more conveyor belts, because you always need more conveyor belts. So now we have that automated going to a chest. Add a stack of 500 just so it doesn't take up too much of our iron, because I won't need that many at one given time. And now with adding this splitter and these last 3 conveyor belts, we now have automated copper plates, and now we can start adding that to a main bus. So with setting up this copper plate bus, you might realize the issue if you've played the game before, but with how I did this iron plate bus, having that extension out there to start the automation process, I made it 5 lengths long, which is what is messing up the underground tunnel for the yellow, because they can only go 4 long. So since I didn't realize that that was the issue, I just decided to make the underground go around this way, because I'm automating red science, so that way I can get research done in the meantime while I am building out my resource gathering. And then I say fuck it and redo the entire thing and make it gears and plates running on the same conveyor belt, going to 2 different red science automators, so that way it can have permanent red science going into it, so that way it never is on downtime during research. And now looking at the underground railways for a bit, I decided to fix the issue that was going on, because I realized what was happening and why it was like that. So then I split those 2 segments up, so that way there's only a 4 road crossing for it to go across, so that way the belts actually fit. And then I add this one here to connect that, and then it has to go immediately under another one to get past the automator, and then it just goes straight on to the previous conveyor belt that was there. And now I have a cleaner, more efficient style after looking at the conveyor belts and why it was acting dumb when in reality it was just me. And then right here, I almost added another lane to my main bus due to seeing the conveyor belt from the splitter without realizing that it was just to split off the iron plates. But luckily, I catch on before it becomes too big of a catastrophe. And since our copper situation is really low, I just decided to add another 5 more into the mix to increase our production speed. And the reason the copper production has been increasing is because what I'm going to build over here, but I had to move red science out of the way. Just my little slow intake for that. And you'll be able to see this monstrosity that I concocted in a moment. Ta-da! My basic form of green circuit production. Boom! Look at this monstrosity. Now that we have a little bit more stuff consuming electricity, just gonna beef up my electrical steam power. Even though they're doing perfectly fine, I just want to do that because I just prefer to have it not burn as much coal as quickly in between each individual one. So just gonna lessen the load on each of them. And here's going to be a montage of me building automated inserters of the yellow variant and electric mining drills. Enjoy.
I hope everybody enjoyed, but during that process, our iron has been going down because we didn't have enough miners at the site. So, adding a few more to even out the loads, that way we can get some more iron down to the base. We've come pretty far. This is what the base is looking like. We have a whole bunch of power that just got set up because we needed to supply those mining drills. And if you noticed the problem earlier, good on you. But the way I have these set up is that way it always puts the green on the left side, but since the red was on the turning belt had a certain chance for it to go on either side. But now, reorienting the whole thing, gonna always be on the left side. And that's gonna be the end for this one. I hope you guys enjoyed watching, and this is the final zoom out of the base with everything added. And I hope you enjoyed, and see you next time.